So today's lesson is the language of algebra. I'm going to explain some of the words that we're going to use during the year when we talk about expressions, equations, and the terms, etc. So this here is called an expression. Expression. And the expression is very different than an equation. An equation will look like this, but must have an equal sign in it. So 2x plus 4 equals negative 10. That's an equation. 2y minus 3 equals 7y plus 4. That's an equation. Right now, we're not doing equations. We're going to start with an expression. So I'll take this off for now until we get to equations. And we'll focus on an expression without the equal sign. And inside the expression, we have terms. This is a term, this is a term, and this is a term. So right now, this expression has 3 terms. And terms are separated by pluses and minuses. So I have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms. Those are terms. 3 of them in this case. 3 terms. There are 3 names that I want you to remember. A monomial. It looks scary, this name, but it's not a big deal. There's a binomial. And there's a trinomial. Which one of these 3 names do you think that this expression is called? Trinomial. Very good. A trinomial, because it has 3 terms, and 3 has another word for tri. So it's a trinomial. So this expression is a trinomial. If I had something like 2x plus 4, then we would call it a binomial. If I had 6x squared, I would call it a monomial. 1, mono, 1, bi, 2, tri, 3. Yes?
Will there ever be more than 3?
There will be more than 3. There could be 10. There's one name for all of them. Polynomial. Poly means many. Polynomial. Good question. More than 3 terms. Good job. So take a second to look at that, write it down, make sure you understand it, and then I'm going to continue with the language of algebra. Some of you might know this already. The letters in algebra. What are they called, these letters in algebra? Did anybody get a chance to? Yes? Variables. You might have heard them. You weren't sure what they were. Variables. So the letters in algebra are called variables. Do you know why we call them variables? Because they can vary, they can change. They are not always the same. I can tell you that x has a value of 2. I could tell you that x has a value of 3. They change. X and y are not the same values. This could be worth 2 and this could be worth a 3. So they change. They're variable. But there is one number in there that's a constant, that stays the same. Who knows which is the constant? The negative 10. Very good. The negative 10 is called the constant. Please take note that the negative 10 is the constant. And there won't always be a constant. It could be that we just have 2x plus 5y with no constant. I also want you to know the name to the number that's attached to the variable. What do we call that number? Not the negative 10. We already named it the constant. What do we call the number attached to a variable? It's called a coefficient. So these numbers here are called coefficient. So by definition, which I'm going to write here, I'm going to take this off. By definition, the coefficient is the number attached to the variable. You got it? It's fairly easy. So if I asked you what are the coefficients, you would say 2 and 4, miss. How about if I asked you for the exponents? Would you be able to recognize the exponents? Yes.
3 and 2.
3 and 2 are exponents. Very good. The 3 and the 2 are exponents. Most of you know that because we do that in our order of operation. Exponent. Exponent. Now, you need to know what the word degree means. Degree, the degree or the degrees for this expression is 5. And what is it? It's the addition, the sum of the exponents. The sum of the exponents. So in this case, the degrees are how many? How many degrees do I have for this expression?
5.
5. All we had to do was add the degrees. So in this case, the degrees is 5 in this case. One last thing that is going to be in your classwork, your homework, is the word first degree monomial. First, it sounds very complicated. It's not a big deal. A first degree monomial. I'll give you an example of what a first degree monomial is. It basically is a monomial, which means there's only one term. And because of the word first degree, it means that the degree only equals to 1. That means there's only one exponent. And do you guys see the 1 here? It's invisible. But do you see the 1 here? It's right here. If I don't put an exponent on the variable, it's an automatic 1. So, for example, if I say to you 3x squared y plus 5m, what is the degree in this expression? What is the degree in this expression? Put your eyes here for a second, and then I'm going to let you keep copying this. Well, how many degrees do I have here?
3.
3, 1, 2. Plus 1 plus 1, how many?
4.
4. So be careful. They are invisible, but they are there. The exponent is 2, 1, and 1. The degree is 4. This is a monomial, is a first degree monomial because it has only one degree and only one term. So for example, negative 6c is a monomial because it only has 1 there, and it's a 1 term. All good. Well done. Okay, here we go. We're going to do the 4 examples that are part of the lesson I just taught. So if I ask you, how many terms do I have in number 1, you should be able to say there are 3 terms. 3 terms. 1, 2, 3. If I asked you, oh, I forgot to mention the coefficient. Damn it. So we're correcting page 1 and 2 from the language of algebra. We are going to do this correction. The first question asks, how many terms are in each of the following algebraic expressions? How many terms? Easy. How many terms? Here there are 3 terms. They're separated by pluses and minuses. 1, 2, 3. Letter B, how many terms?
4.
4. 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. 4 terms. I can underline, I could show you differently. They are 4 terms. Letter C. Letter C.
4.
4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Question number 2 says identify the coefficients in each expression. So in this trinomial, what are the coefficients?
4 and 2.
4, negative 2, and 1. Although it's invisible, it's there. The coefficients are 4, comma, 1, comma, negative 2. Over here, in this polynomial, which means more than 3 terms, we have what coefficients are here?
1.
There's a 1,
2.
a positive 6, and a positive 2. Good. This is a constant. A coefficient only belongs in front of a variable. So we have a 1, a 6, and a 2. And for letter C,
4.
the 4,
8.
the 8,
Negative 2.
the negative 2,
And the negative 9.
and the negative 9. So we have 4 coefficients, the 4, the 8, the negative 2, and the negative 9. So for number 3, the question asks what? What's the question ask? Yes,
It asks the degree.
the degree for each of the terms. So do you know how many degrees there are in A? 5, right there. It's also the exponent in this case. So there are 5. In B, what is the degree in B, Amanda?
Degree 6.
6. And for the letter C, 5. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5 degrees. Good. For number 4, the question reads, identify how many terms and then identify the coefficient. So I can tell you there are 4 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Who can tell me the coefficients? Coefficients?
Negative 2.
There's a positive 2 to start with. Good. Then? Oh, we're looking at 8. Negative 2.
4.
The 4.
And the negative
6. I apologize. That's perfect. Negative 2. The 4 and the negative 6. On the second one, how many terms do I have? Yes?
You have 5 terms.
5 terms. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 terms. And the coefficients are? Yep.
2.
2.
Negative 2 and 6.
What's here?
1.
A 1. So there's a 2, a 1, a negative 2, and a positive 6. Be careful. Did you guys get that? So how many coefficients do I actually have? 4, 2, a 1, a negative 2, and a 6. And how about for letter C? How many terms do I have? I have 1, 2, 3 terms. The 4 is a constant. The negative 1 is a constant. The positive 2 was a constant. We have 3 terms. The variables are x and y, but the question asked for the coefficient. So we have a 2 and a 3. So the coefficients are 2 and 3. For number 6, so we omit 5. Number 6, the question asks, which of the following expressions are first degree monomials? What did you guys put down for that? I see 2 of them, 3 of them. What did you put for them? Yes.
C.
Letter C, 12x is a first degree monomial. Good. Anybody else? Yeah? Not A, because you have x to the power of 2, and it has to be x to the power of 1. It has to have a degree of 1. That's why we say first degree. Yes? E, which is 5C. Yes? And one more. Yes?
G.
G as in George at negative 2C. He is correct. These are first, meaning they have 1 term, they are monomials, and their degree is 1. Boom! Good job.